Have you ever been in this situation? You find yourself in a position where the girl you like constantly writes to you, tells you about her life, and consults you about her problems, all within a framework that clearly isn't moving toward what you truly want. Deep down, you know it's not enough, but you settle for it. Why? Because at least you're in contact with her, and that feels better than nothing. This phenomenon is what we call the best gay WhatsApp friend circle. It's a space where, despite constant interaction, you realize it will never progress beyond that point. You're trapped in a cycle where you invest time, effort, and emotional energy, but you don't get what you truly want: a real relationship, or at the very least, a chance to pursue one. Why does this happen? Because that role feels safe. There's no risk, no fear of rejection, but also no satisfaction. It's an illusion of closeness that never materializes into something concrete. It's like standing in front of an oasis, only to realize it was a mirage when you approach it. The main problem is that by accepting this role, you're not only settling for less than you want, but you're also sabotaging any possibility of moving forward. You're choosing a path that avoids rejection, but also avoids any chance of success. Why do we fall into this trap? Before looking for solutions, it's important to understand why we allow ourselves to end up in this situation. The answer isn't simple, but in most cases it boils down to fear. Fear of rejection, fear of loneliness, fear of losing the little you already have. If you're finding value in this video, let's exchange value for value. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the upcoming lessons. Let's continue. The best gay WhatsApp friend role is comfortable because it gives you the illusion of closeness without the threat of direct rejection. You don't need to take risks or put your intentions on the table. But in exchange, you're also sacrificing your true desires. For example, many times you might prefer to keep sending trivial messages like, "How was your day? What plans do you have for the weekend?" instead of being direct and proposing a meeting. Why? Because you're afraid she'll say no, and that no would devastate your self-esteem. However, by acting this way, you perpetuate a cycle of frustration where you'll never get what you truly want. The problem is that this behavior not only keeps you stuck, but it also communicates something very clear to the other person: insecurity. When you accept that role, you're subcommunicating that you lack the confidence to express what you truly want, and that's exactly what she perceives. The essential question: how do you communicate your true intentions? This is where most men get stuck. They wonder, how do I tell a girl I don't want to just be her WhatsApp friend? But here's the issue. It's not about saying it directly, but projecting it through your actions and attitude. You can't expect one conversation to change everything if your behavior remains the same. The game of seduction isn't an art of direct communication, but one of subcommunication. This means that it's not so much about what you say, but what you convey through your actions, body language, and interaction style. For example, if you spend hours texting her without ever proposing a meeting, you're subcommunicating that you lack the confidence to move forward. If you agree to be her confidant for her romantic problems, you're subcommunicating that you don't see yourself as a romantic option. That's why the first step to breaking out of this circle is changing what you subcommunicate. Instead of accepting that role, you need to show from the beginning that you're clear about your intentions and willing to pursue what you truly want. Accept rejection as part of the process. Here's where many men stumble. They want it all: constant interaction without risking rejection. But the reality is that you can't have both. If you want to move forward, you need to accept the possibility of losing. This doesn't mean being aggressive or overly direct to the point of making the other person uncomfortable. It's about being honest with yourself and with her. For example, if you don't want to just be her WhatsApp friend, stop behaving like one. Propose a meeting. Express your intentions subtly but clearly. Of course, this means accepting that she might say no, and that's okay. Rejection isn't a failure, it's a natural part of the process. In fact, when you accept rejection as a possibility, you project a confidence that often becomes attractive. Remember, the goal isn't always for her to say yes, but for you to be authentic about what you truly want. The importance of subcommunication. What is subcommunication and why is it so important? Subcommunication is everything you convey beyond your words. It's the attitude, energy, and intentions you project in your interactions. For example, if you propose a date after 3 or 4 messages, you're subcommunicating that you value your time, have confidence in yourself, and are used to going on dates. On the other hand, if you spend weeks sending trivial messages without taking any initiative, you're subcommunicating insecurity and a lack of direction. Subcommunication is what truly makes the difference between a man who seems attractive and one who doesn't. It's not about learning lines or techniques, but developing a mindset that projects confidence and clarity. The trap of trivial messages. One of the biggest traps men fall into is using chat as a means to build an emotional connection. This is a mistake. The purpose of chat isn't to have long conversations, but to coordinate an in-person meeting. If you use chat to talk about trivial topics like, "How are you? What did you do today?" you're losing focus. These questions don't generate attraction or move the relationship forward. Instead, they reinforce a superficial friendship dynamic. Instead, focus on logistical questions like, "What day are you free this week? Do you prefer coffee or a walk?" These types of messages are direct, clear, and subcommunicate that you have a purpose. You're not texting to pass the time. You're texting to coordinate a meeting. Work on yourself, the root of change. At the end of the day, the problem isn't her or the messages you send. The real issue lies in your relationship with yourself. If you depend on texting for validation or companionship, what you need to work on is your self-esteem and your ability to feel comfortable on your own. Learning to enjoy your own company is one of the most important steps to breaking out of this cycle. When you're okay with yourself, you don't need constant validation from someone else, and that independence is precisely what makes you more attractive. Invest time in your passions, personal growth, and developing the confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you're worth. When you reach this level of internal security, you won't feel the need to fill voids with trivial messages, and that will completely change the dynamics of your relationships. Final reflection. If this content brought you value, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever found yourself stuck in this situation? What strategies have you used to escape the WhatsApp friend zone? Leave your comments below. I'll be happy to read and respond to them. Remember, change starts with you. It's not about learning techniques or lines, but developing the confidence and authenticity needed to build real connections.